Hello, you beautiful soul. My name is Marvin. I have built 5 different online businesses to 5 figures a month separately. I share my advice for free on this channel. I upload daily. I have a main channel over here with more fancy videos if you fancy that. Here is a quick overview of my 5 different business models and the kind of numbers that we drove. And when I started, you can see I am old as hell. You can see over here that usually we charge between $18,000 to $60,000 a year per client. You can see a client right here, a client right here, a more recent one over here. So some are smaller, some are bigger when it comes to monthly payments. I get lots of comments and I don't really answer all of the comments. So after selling services in 39 countries worldwide, I think I'm qualified to answer lots of questions. So is it smart and easier when you start to be selling your services in AI or SMMA on Upwork? There's a lot to unpack here, and it's really important for me to basically break down the 2 different realities that we have between selling on Upwork and selling anywhere else. Let me see, by the way, am I recording? I am recording. So when you're selling on Upwork, there's one fundamental disadvantage that you have that you don't have anywhere else. Or let me say, at least you don't have that on any place that's not a marketplace, because Upwork essentially is just a marketplace. You have the annoying factor that is comparison. You will be compared against probably 5 to 15 competitors every single day. Why do I mention that? It's because when you go with any of the classical, usual ways of signing clients, and there are probably 20 different strategies, techniques I can think of signing clients basically for free. I'm saying not like paid ads. I'm talking about free outreach strategies. Could be email, it could be Loom, it could be DMs, it could be calls, it could be even physical like places that you can go to in your city if that's possible for you. Anyway, my point is, in that situation, if you land a meeting, you're the only one in front of them, even if it's just on a call like right here. You are the only one talking to them, and you are most likely one of maybe at most 2 or 3 competitors that they are currently considering to work with. Versus when you go to these marketplaces like Upwork, there is a bazillion of people who will apply for the same gig every single time. If you want to find out what it's like, my suggestion for you is to also switch sides and have an account as basically like a company profile where you can ask for applications, right? I've done this so many times because I've hired people on Upwork myself. And every single time I put up an ad, I get like 20 to 30 applications in probably the first 48 hours. And it's a hassle to go through all of them. So my point is, like even me from the other perspective, I'm sure I must have missed amazing people to hire, like true unicorn type of people that I haven't worked with simply because of the quantity of people who will hit you up. It's just too much. So I'm not saying it's a clear no that you shouldn't work on Upwork, because clearly you see all of these different YouTube channels, I'm sure, right? Where people say, I've made 10K this week on Upwork, or like 10K a month even. But from my experience, and I've been doing this for the past 9 years, I have signed, at least to my knowledge, I would say 90% of my clients from places that were not marketplaces. In other words, I've used classical creative outreach strategies like DMs, email. Email is absolute king, by the way. I love email. I'm in love with email today still. But there's so much more that you can do, right? You can even run a basic ad that's actually really cheap and even get better results than you would get from Upwork. That being said, is it easy to answer that? Is it smart? I would say it's going to be difficult in terms of justifying your worth. You can charge less for your service because you will be compared. There's the value of comparison for your client. And that's going to be something that they will not ignore just because they came across you, the giga chat of AI and SMMA service providers. Even if you give the best impression, I don't believe that this is going to make much of a difference in terms of the price that you can justify charging there. Plus, on top of that, you need to pay Upwork as well. I don't remember how much they charge. It must be something like 20%, right? Or like 50% of the sum that's going to be paid to you. I think something like that, right? So you pay fees on top of that as well. But the good thing, of course, is you will build your Upwork profile and you will have your social proof, so to say. You will have your proof on there, testimonials and so on, which is great. But I think if I was to start over from scratch, I would build my portfolio. I would build my list of testimonials and list of clients in the real world, in the free and open market that is the internet, where you can just access and basically approach anyone that you would like to approach. And I would do it if this is like outside the question, but I would focus on something like email, which is still king in B2B today. Email is, I think, the easiest way to reach people. If I had to rank one thing on number one, I would say it's email. So, about the question, it's like a separate question kind of. Is it easier to sell services on Upwork? I think to some degree, yes, it is. It's easier to sell, but it's not necessarily the better place, the superior place to get your clients. Yeah, you can get clients on Upwork 100%. I have seen that happening a lot. But like I said, with people who I've consulted in the past, it's been the same situation. I told them, hey, it's amazing you got your like 3 clients on Upwork and you made probably $500 this week, but you could have made $2,000 this week or $5,000 this week if you would have opted for what is the, in my opinion, smarter choice still, to find your clients outside of Upwork with all of the other 10 to 20 different strategies that you can use. By the way, when I say this so broadly, what do I mean by that? Well, of course, in this video, I will not be able to go into all the 10 to 20 different strategies that exist. That's a very long list. Like I said, if you want to have more fancy training videos, you can check out my main channel. It's more like edited and like a bit more pop culturally accustomed, right? But you can also go to marvinadam.com for a free training where I break down how I build my businesses and some of the most relevant things that people don't really, I think, talk about often enough when it comes to building an online business from home. And yeah, that's it for this video. Drop your best question in the chat. Drop your best question that you have for me. I'd love to make a video about it and answer your question if you have a great one.